The most anticipated fight of every year for the last decade, 2016 to 2025. 2016, it was Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 2. Conor, by far the biggest superstar in UFC history, but he was coming off the first loss of his UFC career against Nate in the first fight. And this build-up got a lot of new fans in MMA, including myself. For 2017, it was Daniel Cormier versus Jon Jones 2. DC entered as the champ in this fight since Jon Jones had been stripped, but Jon, he had that cold-blooded killer demeanor, and there were a lot of personal insults in the build-up to this fight. For 2018, it's the most anticipated fight of all time. Khabib versus Conor McGregor. Conor coming back from the Floyd Mayweather boxing match. Khabib, he was the champion. And the big question was, could Conor get his title back, or would Khabib remain undefeated? For 2019, there's a couple ways you could go. Khabib versus Poirier, Usman versus Covington 1. But I think at the time, it was Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. I mean, the BMF belt was created for this event. Masvidal coming off the super viral Askren KO. This was peak Jorge hype. For 2020, I'll go Adesanya versus Costa. Two undefeated fighters for the title, which almost never happens in the UFC. And there was a lot of trash talk, but also a very fun build-up during the pandemic. In 2021, it was Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor 3. McGregor was coming off the Poirier KO loss in his last fight, so he decided to trash talk a lot more in the build-up to this one, and even post DMs of Dustin's wife. For 2022, it's Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira 1. Honorable mention to Oliveira versus Makhachev, but the backstory to this fight was incredible. Pereira hunting Izzy down, coming over to the UFC, and people were very 50-50 on this fight. Next, 2023, it's Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane. Jon, he was coming off a pretty extended layoff, moving up a division, and there were a lot of questions entering this fight. Did Jon Jones still have it? Would Ciryl Gane be able to pull it off? And ultimately, Jon did make it look easy, but it was a very anticipated return. Next, 2024, it's Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Ilia's coming off that sensational Volkanovski KO to win the title, but then Holloway topped him at UFC 300, knocking out Justin Gaethje. And the whole narrative was that Ilia was scared of Holloway based off his reaction, and that's what really led to the great buildup of this fight. And then lastly, coming to this year, 2025, it's DDP versus Khamzat. An unstoppable force versus an immovable object. And DDP, he finds a way to win every time. Khamzat, he's undefeated. And I think that's what makes this matchup so anticipated.